Hey, it's Lee from Best at Losing, and I'm here with another pickups video. Now, this is pickups video 100, which means I've officially made 99 more videos than I initially expected. This was meant to be a fairly big video. I figured it's 100, let's make it good. I kind of struggled to find video games for a little while, so it's taken me a while to film. This is actually a combination of a couple weeks worth of pickups. But I think I have some stuff to show, and we'll see what you think. I mentioned that I might have a contest on this channel, and I was thinking about maybe launching it on the 100th. I don't really have enough of a reasonable prize pack yet. I have a couple things I think I could put into a prize pack. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna probably have a contest, in the next five or so weeks, maybe a couple months. And I expect that to be a games-based one, just trying to help someone else with their collection. And it won't be very complicated. It'll just be a matter of, comment on a video, call it a day. So I'll talk about that later. But right now, let's focus on pickups. I've got quite a few game pickups, including kind of like one really big pickup. And I also have some non-game pickups for anybody who's interested in seeing those. I went to an event today, and I picked up quite a few things, so we'll get started right now because this is probably going to be a fairly long video. So the first thing I did is I actually went thrifting a few weeks ago, and I found almost nothing. And at the very last store I went to, I found the first non-sports game of the day, and it was this game, which is X2 Wolverine's Revenge, excuse me. I don't know anything about this game. All I know is that I paid $2.99. I was going to pick it up no matter what because I was just kind of disheartened by the type of day I'd been having at the stores. I'm sure $2.99 is probably going rate for this game, which is absolutely fine. It's not like it's a desirable game for me. It's just kind of something to get out of the way. I was glad to pick it up. Alright, so let's move that over to the side. Let's pop up the next things. So I believe one of the local game stores got a big collection in, and they tend to focus on the 8 and 16-bit, and even after those generations, but mostly 8 and 16-bit stuff, and by that I mean like post-NES. But apparently there's some older stuff in there too, so they decided to just put it up for cheaper prices. I like the older stuff, and typically speaking, in our town, for some reason, even though it's undervalued by the buyers, it's a little overvalued by most stores. A lot of places will put a $5 price tag on every game, and it's kind of frustrating because they're just not worth that much. But here's Keystone Capers. Anybody who's ever played this game probably knows it's pretty good. You're just basically kind of running, jumping over stuff. It's a platformer, but it's an intense platform. It's a lot of fun. So to pick that up, you'll note the terrible condition. That's exactly like most of my Atari 2600 games. I don't care about condition for that system. It's 40 years old, let's be honest. It's as long as it plays, that's good enough for me. I also picked up Time Pilot, kind of a classic at the arcade. I don't know too much about it, to be honest with you. I don't believe I ever played it. Played a lot of arcade games in the past, but I don't remember playing that one specifically. And then the final one is Burger Time, a game I have played on different systems. Burger Time, kind of a classic. Again, on the ColecoVision. I like the ColecoVision despite the terrible controller, excuse me. So I'm glad to pick that up. Now, in terms of slightly more modern games and kind of more desirable games in terms of my list, things that are actually on my list of games to get, I picked up this game. And this is Dynamite Headdy on the Genesis. Dynamite Headdy, for those of you who haven't played it, is quite a bit of fun. I actually gave my loose copy to my friend Scott so that he could try it. And I said, well, I basically gave it to him permanently because I figured I'd be buying a complete copy anyway. And it's hard to buy just a case without a game. So yeah, this is just the case and the game, no manual. So I got a nice deal on it. I paid $10 less than the one with the manual, which is fine by me. I don't need the manual. Dynamite Headdy is a platformer, super colorful, kind of has a clever mechanic where you essentially shoot your head and use it as a hook. Really fun game, good music, good visuals. I just knocked over my stack of games, but whatever. And then this is my big pickup for the week, or 2 weeks. That's Zen the Intergalactic Ninja. It's a very pricey game. I got a reasonable price on it. I didn't by any ways. Well, I got an okay price, we'll say. I won't discuss the price because it's going to make me sad when I rewatch this video a few years from now. But the game has been on my list for a long time. You're basically a ninja who fights environmental things. So you're kind of like Captain Planet, but a ninja. And the game looks okay. It doesn't look like it controls great. Like, it's visually speaking, when I looked at the game and I saw gameplay, I said, oh, that looks like a good game, but I hear bad things. But still, it's been on my list for a while. Why not? It's kind of a cool title. It's not one you see every day. My NES collection especially is pretty, I don't want to say exclusive, but I tend to kind of be fairly focused on high-end games at this point. I don't have too many common games on my list of games to target. So those are pretty much all my game pickups. Not bad. Not a ton of, other than Zen, not a ton of money invested, but a lot of time, so that's good. Now, I also picked up some other stuff. I went to something called the Geek Market today, and the Geek Market is basically it's just that. It's a market where people are selling various goods of geeky nature, we'll say. So comic books, video games, kind of apparel, and some little knickknacks like magic wands and things like that. I usually focus on the video games, but for some reason I was not in a game buying mood this week. Maybe because I purchased enough. But I went a different direction, so I'll show you what I got. So the first thing I'll show you is this book here. So, yeah, I like to buy books because they make me feel smart sometimes. Even though I've barely been reading of late. I'm kind of embarrassed to say. I can't remember the last time I finished a book. I've started a bunch, but I haven't finished one in a while. So this looks like it's Sparks Incarnation. This is actually, I believe there are 2 volumes in this one book. Because they were selling them separately, or you could get both for a little bit of a discount price. I figured, why not get the whole story, right? I don't know too much about this author. They basically gave me the pitch today. They were really good at selling this book to me. But they basically said, I was ready to buy anyways, it's fine. But they basically told me this guy is like a local physicist / author? And said there's a lot of science fiction in here, so I don't know. It looked really cool. Like, the cover is really badass, right? Am I wrong? No. So the cover looks pretty badass. The pitch they made was pretty great. It's a local author. I don't know. If you can go local and support local, why the hell not? People have dreams, and they're trying to make their dreams come true. Why would I hinder that, right? It's like $20 out of my pocket, and this person has a better chance of making it as a well-known author. And then I get to say that I was in on the ground floor. I can brag about that. So yeah, this is Sparks Incarnation. I'm going to try to put some details in the description of this video, just so that if you guys want to seek it out, you might be able to find it. On the same kind of level, I got this. This is called In a Galaxy Far, Far Awry, even though it looks like away. And this is actually the 4th book of a series. I've shown some of the other ones in previous videos. And this is a series written by a guy called Liam Gibbs. Liam Gibbs I've met. He's at this Geek Market event and other events fairly regularly. And he's just kind of hustling. He's really working on kind of getting this book out. Seems like a very nice guy. He's got a similar sense of humor to me, I think. I've only read a bit of the first book, but I liked it so far. And when he first described it to me, he was talking about Marvel Universe, or kind of superheroes meets Star Wars in terms of like the themes on this book. So if you're going to take the 2 greatest themes of all time and combine them in one book, chances are I'm going to like it. So yeah, this again, I'm going to try to put a little bit of a description in or a little bit of some details in the description, and see if you guys can reach out and get a copy of this if you want it. Let's go to the next one. What else did I get? Oh yeah, so my friend actually set up a booth at this event. His name's Ryan, and he gave me this free pin. Right, so that's pretty sweet. But I also purchased stuff from him, and I honestly, I'm not that good a friend, so I wouldn't have purchased this if I wasn't interested in it. But I like these. So he's got a super sad Link right here, and I think that's great. He looks really depressed, and I just like the caricature look of it. This one I kind of got because, hey, it's Link. I like it, whatever. But the one that drew me in was actually this one here. This is Samus looking extremely happy. And I don't know why, but the visual appeal of this print just got to me. And I think he should raise his prices. I did not pay much for this. I paid $5 a piece. I think they're worth a little more. I'm going to try to frame these and put them in my game room. I think they look cool, and I think he's actually working on a couple more. So I will be a regular purchaser of these, I believe. And yeah, he's a very talented graphic artist. I'm going to put his details underneath too. And I realize I'm not an influencer much, but I feel like if even one person goes and supports these people, that'd be pretty cool, right? Again, everything local, people trying to make it, let's support them. Finally, I've been watching a lot of another YouTube channel called Alpha Investments. It's about a guy who basically runs game stores and has an online presence and uses not game store, excuse me. Well, it is a game store, but a card game store. But uses Magic cards as investments. I'm not going in that direction, but it has kind of rekindled my love of Magic the Gathering. I'm definitely not going into the newer sets. I'm not going to collect anything I've never had before. But as a kid, I had at least parts of my collection stolen twice. And it was pretty traumatizing because it was kind of like my only possession was these stacks of Magic cards. And now that most of them are worth almost nothing, it's kind of a good time to recapture my childhood. So I basically went to a store, and this is not a very good card to show on the top, but I'm not going to open up the pack. But basically I went to the store and I got a stack of singles out of some binders. I'm probably going to go back and buy some more. This cost me a little over $10, and it makes me happy. I regained a little bit of my childhood. Yeah, these are all from I played until 1998, I believe. And I started in 1995. So that kind of gives you a timeline of how old I am. So yeah, I'm really excited to have that. So as I mentioned, whoops, I just threw my pen on the ground. But these are my non-video game pickups, 2 books, 2 prints, Magic cards, and then some old games. Let's toss them up there. An Xbox game that I don't really care for. Dynamite Headdy, great game. Zen the Intergalactic Ninja, rare game. Alright, thanks for watching. This was a really long video. I've never gone this long. Thank you if you watched it all the way through. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.